Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Arzina.
Welcome back to Love More Travel. I know it's been a while since we posted anything, but we've had a lot going on in our life and would just kind of like to get you up to date on everything that's going on.
And we have big news for you today.
Yes, we have some big exciting news that we're getting ready to share with everybody. Obviously, our close family and friends already know this, but we are in the process of selling everything we own and getting ready to move overseas.
Yes, we are. We've been so busy trying to wrap things up. And a few months ago, we decided this is going to be the best thing to do. And we have been taking steps. So David will get you up to speed on these steps that we've been taking.
Okay, so the first thing was back at the beginning of March, I retired from my job. I'd been a professional truck driver for 28 years, and enough was enough of that. And I enrolled in an online class for TEFL, which is Teaching English as a Foreign Language. So I'll be able, now that I have my certification, I'll be able to start teaching online. So if you notice, our background has changed. So Arzina, you can tell a little bit about what you've been doing.
And I have also taken the TEFL certification. I received it, and I also started working online teaching English as a digital nomad, and we'll get into a little bit more details. And I also have submitted my resignation from my full-time job at a local university that I work with.
Yeah, so as it stands, today is June 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 5th.
Honestly, things have been so crazy, we sometimes have to really look at the calendar and know what day it is. But I guess the big thing is, now we're under the 90-day mark of finalizing all our plans. Our flight is scheduled we're actually starting out going to Mauritius, which is where Arzina was originally from. If you've watched some of our earlier videos, she talked a little bit about being born and raised in Mauritius, and now going back there to live, at least temporarily. And then maybe you want to fill in a little bit about what we'll be doing there.
Well, I think it's also important to talk a little bit about what we have had to do to get ready for this trip. And that's the purpose of this video, is to help others see that it's not impossible to get ready and do something like this. But once we're in Mauritius, like David said, say a little bit about it. So we're going to be teaching online as digital nomads. So obviously we found a place that has Wi-Fi, that has, the area of a desk where we could teach off of. And being a digital nomad means you can work digitally anywhere you go in the world. That's being a nomad. So let me turn it back to you, and you can tell everyone some of the steps we've taken so far.
Well, one of the first things we did was just decided to do this. And it's been a long time coming. This was not an overnight decision by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But I think because of the pandemic, a lot of things in our world have changed. And as most of you know, working remotely now is an option in so many different fields. Obviously, as a truck driver, that wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
But this encouraged me to go ahead and leave that industry and get my TEFL certification. Most of the English teaching is in Asian countries. So once we're on that side of the world, we'll be more on their time schedule. It's a little difficult now because the prime teaching times are like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, Central U.S. time.
Mm-hmm.
So Arzina's had a few classes that she's been able to teach at different times, but the demand is usually, I guess that would be about 5 p.m. when the kids get home from school. It's usually younger learners, but there's so many different platforms out there for teaching English.
And I also wanted to mention that some people might think, oh, you need a certain level of education or you need some experience. The biggest thing is knowing how to speak and write English, and being a native speaker is always a good thing. I am from a Commonwealth country, so we learned English all our lives. So, and David is from the United States. So having that is already, what you need. I have my various degrees. David has some college and his certification. So you can join various organizations based on your qualification, but the biggest one is receiving the TEFL certificate first, and that for us is both done.
Yeah, that opens up a lot of doors. So once we decided that we could do this by supplementing our income with what we'll be making from teaching online, then the next step was really deciding, you know, what we're going to do. A lot of it is the good old B word, budget-wise, but
that big bad B word again, but that's okay. That obviously has helped us be where we are today.
It really has, and I think I'm gonna have to be perfectly honest with you. We watched just so many videos on YouTube, and there are so many people that have influenced us. And first and foremost is Ralph Kleska.
Yeah.
Ralph was the first videos that we watched that really said, you know,
you can
do this.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to have, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. You can come over here. You can live a comfortable lifestyle, teaching English online, and live, like Ralph always says, live a life worth living.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that continue to influence us, and we will, you know, we always thank you all for, and you have received a lot of my messages too. I thank you for everything that you post, because it shows us that this is doable. We're not rich, we budget well, we try to make sure that, you know, because living in America is expensive.
It sure is.
So we budget well so we could save a little bit at the end of every month. And, you know, and this is something that has really helped us out, budgeting. And part of budgeting with David is, you know, allocating funds for different areas that you feel is important in your life. And part of budgeting and planning for this trip is also, what do we sell? What do we get rid of? What do we keep in storage? Do we need a storage? Do we not need a storage? And so I'll let you continue with that part.
Well, and the answer to that is we've pretty much sold 99% of what we own. We're literally going with 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a backpack. And probably once we get done with Mauritius, we're going to eliminate one of those suitcases so we can be pretty flexible. A word that a lot of people have used when we've been talking about this is liberating. And let me tell you something, when people say less is more, except when it comes to travel, but we'll get to that. But it's actually very liberating when you look at what you need versus what you want.
Yeah.
And when you realize what you need and how minimal it is, and you start watching other people's videos and the lifestyle they live, it's not about driving the fancy car.
At least not for us.
At least not for us.
Yeah.
So everybody has their priorities. And that's why I think we connect so well with a lot of the people that we follow on YouTube, because they have a similar mindset.
Yeah.
And you realize that life is more about experiences, getting out there, traveling, learning other cultures, learning other languages.
Yeah.
So what we will be doing in helping people learn to speak English, in return, we will hopefully pick up some of the languages in the foreign countries where we're going to be.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, our first stop after Mauritius is probably going to be Thailand, because Thailand seems to be our safest bet with quarantine and the borders opening.
And we've been seeing Thailand through the eyes of some lovely people, including Adriana and Dylan from 2 Passports,
One
Dream. We've also been watching Chev and Dev.
Yeah.
There are, tons of people that we see.
Patty Doyle, Flora and Note.
What about Ken Abroad?
Ken Abroad.
That's one of my dad's favorite, Ken Abroad.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of people that, I know that Flora and Note, you said, right?
Yes.
That we're going to obviously connect with and meet up with along the way. But you've shown us, so much of what we can do. And when we watch your videos, we also watch how simple living can be. And that's the thing that we are trying to do, is go back to the basics. And at this point, with a lot of things gone already. We're like, this is simple, this is easy. Why didn't we live like this before?
The only, and I'm not going to say regret because you can't live life with regrets. The only thing I would change if I could, and maybe this will inspire some other people the way we've been inspired, is you don't have to wait to do this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, in a way, we're kind of making up for lost time, but you can't look backwards. So look forward, look ahead, and say. And again, you have to prioritize. You know, if you've watched our previous videos, we talk about, you know, you have to prioritize for budgeting to travel, and then, but just in life in general, prioritize what's important to you. If a lifestyle like ours is not important to you, you probably won't follow us much longer, and that's fine. But I feel the people that we're reaching, there's a niche genre of people our age. We're in our 50s, okay? Everybody that we've mentioned earlier is 20s and 30s, right? There's nobody our age that is doing this type of content, at least not on a regular basis or something that we can relate to. So for now, we're probably going to go ahead and sign off, but we're going to keep you updated. We're going to walk you through the steps in future videos of like everything we've done, our travel plans up through the end of 2021, and as they change, we'll keep you updated. But we just wanted to give you all an update on what's been going on in our lives. Sorry it's been a while. We're still learning, so I don't know how to post it yet, but please like our videos, subscribe, share, follow us on Instagram.
And tell us, if you have any questions, because I'm sure a lot of the things that we just threw at you must be thinking, how did they do this? What's the idea behind it? I mean, simple things like jewelry, makeup, shoes, I mean, all those things, how do you scale down to being able to travel and travel light? So we could give you tips. Again, we're not experts at this. We're going to share what we've done, what we've been reading, what we've been learning. But please let us know if you have any comments or you have any questions. We'd be happy to answer them for you.
Absolutely. So until our next video, live more,
laugh more,
love more,
travel more.